Okay.
Got it.
So January 4th, 2024. Happy New Year to everybody. Praying for something better than we had last year. It was a strange year for us, I'm gonna say.
We're strange anyway.
Yeah, we're strange anyway. We admit it. But I'm gonna tell you that right out of the gate already this week, we're seeing a lot of activity and a lot of possibilities and a lot of things that are kind of shaking and rattling and rolling. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys just so you can kind of get a picture of what we've been working on this week very quickly, frantically almost. Oh, here comes Giovanna. All right, we got one more coming in. All righty there. Now I gotta find. Okay. So right now, what it looks like is really trying to happen, even here at the virtual level. You know, we've been trying to explain to a lot of people that We Care really is designed to eventually become about localized business teams. But until we start getting some real traction with building one of the communities, like the Hope type communities that we want to build, I think it's going to be hard to get a lot of the localized traction with the teams. So as long as we're still mostly virtual, we still have the ability to have four different teams operating, and that's what we're kind of seeing happen right now. And so just to kind of give you a quick overview and invite people to decide where, if in any of these places you fit, that's really what I wanted to accomplish here this evening. So right now, what we're calling the Peacemakers team, We Care has always been about health, wealth, and peace. Those are the major cornerstones. And then when we bring the Hope Institute into it, with the whole aspect of building hope communities, where people can actually get together and be able to live in a little more peaceful kind of way. That's the fourth one, is kind of the community builders group. So right now with the Peacemakers, it's mostly me and Don and Rick and Keith that are showing up on Sunday mornings, every other Sunday morning, more or less. And then Mariama Ba, who actually lives in the Raleigh area and who has been building a relationship internally at NC State. We're working together right now to put together this suicide prevention event, intending it to be a live event in Raleigh. So that's where a lot of our time and attention is going right now. And it's kind of interesting because I've been connecting people with Keith and getting him talking to different people. And, some of these names won't mean anything to you guys, but Edie Rather is coming on board, and she is very well connected in the Raleigh area. She's also an internationally known speaker, author. She's done an incredible book about bullying that is actually can be a handbook for anybody who's being touched by the whole bullying phenomenon out here. So Sabria Charles is still planning on talking to Keith. She wants to be involved because she's an NC State grad as well. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We're planning on meeting on a Sunday morning, on not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. And then we will try to get one more Sunday in before the end of the month. So right now we're just kind of putting together a structure for this event. Keith is very much on the let's have panel discussions and conversation side. And then We Care is very much on the doing side. Let's get experiential, let get people hands-on and teach them, some tools and some techniques and some methodologies and things that can help in actually reducing the number of suicides that we've got going on. Maggie and Giovanna and I have met a couple of times, and this is kind of under the prosperity team, is we're really starting to talk seriously about how to be business builders in the network marketing and MLM and affiliate arena. And so it's just been the three of us. We had Don come in the last meeting too, because this has always been an interest of his. And, we're really working on ways to do lead generation for people who want to be team builders in a network marketing or affiliate kind of situation. We want a sales team. We want more than just ourselves that are out here promoting our products. And I know that's been an interest for Kevin as well. I tossed it out on the table that our group might want to consider doing a make money from home event again sometime this year. It seems like it might be really ripe to do so. And I'll show you in a little bit why I think even more now that it very well might be, huh?
You got it written down.
I do have it written down there. So yeah. So right now we met this past Tuesday at 4:00. We're going to meet on the third Tuesday at 4:00 to talk about this. And Giovanna will find this to be interesting, because I told the group that one of the things I was willing to experiment with, and you guys have heard me say this before, was seeing what I could do with a job posting board to try to develop leads. And so we're talking about, We Care Consulting apprenticeship program. It's a work study program. We're looking for people who want to learn about one or more of our product or service and partner with us to help do presentations and teach people about some of our products and services. And I just went through the process today with Indeed, and I've been blown away. In fact, I think I blew them away because I got my account approved today. I put together the ad today. It went live on Indeed at 5:15, and at about 6:30, Indeed shut it down because we'd already gotten 65 applicants. And I don't think they're going to let me do any more free ads on this after
Wow.
getting 65 applicants in an hour. So, yeah, it's like, oh boy. So that was our experiment for today, and it's going to be interesting to dig through those. I'm not going to put money out for any ads until we dig through these and see who we've got, and see if there's actually anybody who may be appropriate to become part of one or more of our teams. Um, And then wellness team. Well, I don't really have anybody meeting right now under the wellness team umbrella, although Giovanna and Maggie certainly could, be doing more of that with me. But we have registered here in St. Petersburg for a January wellness fair. It's going to be on January 25th. And we'll probably register for February and March wellness fairs too, because they're all being run by our friend Sarah M. She does a good job with it. And we just want to get more product sales going on out here, if at all possible. So if there's anybody else in the We Care team that somehow wants to be part of one or more of these wellness fairs, they need to speak up and let me know, and we'll figure out how to implement them into these. And then the community builders team, that's basically been me and Don and Rick and Darlene Satori, and then Tanya Debnam has been a realtor in the Raleigh area for a long time, and she's feeling very drawn towards this whole community building idea as well. So we've started meeting a couple of Saturday mornings a month. We haven't actually scheduled for January yet, but we need to do that. And we don't actually have an actual project quite yet, other than Rick is working his tail off to try to learn more about real estate investing and putting people in housing from a different perspective. So we appreciate that. But I'm hoping this group may come up with something specific that they want to really set their sights on for this year. And that's kind of where we're at with all of that. So those are the 4 areas that we've got stuff going on right now. And, if somebody else wants to jump in to one or more of these teams and get involved with some of these projects, we would love to have people more involved. I know I still have an action item that's outstanding that I need to write a letter to Groove. Lorenzo asked me about that again yesterday. And I may try going direct to Mike Filsame and direct, sending an actual paper letter to him first and just drop some names like Joel Bauer in there and see, if we can get his attention directly. If not, then, I'll pound on other doors and see if we can. But that's on my to-do list for tomorrow, is to put together a letter to Mike Filsame, and I'll run that by both Rick and Lorenzo for you guys to see if you have any other input that you think should be there before I work on sending that across the state to Boca Raton.
Yeah, I think that's
Glad
kind of
they're quicker.
important right now because Lorenzo and I both are having a little bit of well, we're not really
Reservations.
yeah. We just want Mike to understand that his support team is seeming to drop the ball a little bit here. And
Well, yeah, frequently, unfortunately. I mean, I haven't heard anything, I made it through 2 tiers of support with our e-learning stuff. And then they said, "Oh, it's got to go to another level, and and we'll be in touch with you." Well, that was a month ago, and I haven't heard a darn thing. And that's just kind of frustrating in this particular space. So,
we had a
um,
weird thing, when I sent my email to them, it was the very next day that my website suddenly went live again.
mm,
And I shared with you what their response was to me, which didn't help you a damn bit. So, yeah, we just need to figure that out because
we do.
Lorenzo and I are really heavily invested in this right now, and we want to make sure that when we start having people contact us to start using this platform, that everything's up and above,
I
the last
agree.
damn thing, yeah. So
I agree. Absolutely. So, yeah. And I mean, who knows? There may be people in this group of 65 people that I gotta get back with, or at least review at this point,
yeah.
that may be interested in something like Groove. I have no idea. The ad that we put out there was quite generic. In fact, I think I can show you what ended up being there.
Markdown,
I don't know if I can. Sometimes
block in G-Space.
yeah,
Yeah,
there it goes.
there you go. It's better.
Okay,
We
that's
see.
better. So anyway, if I go back to candidates, it was showing me. Yeah, okay. So yeah. Oh, now there's 67. So there's
Whoa.
67 people that came in through our ad in just over an hour. And it's just funny because now it's saying, that I have to sponsor the ad before I can do anything more with it. So I think it kind of blew their mind too. And it's kind of funny because it's a very generic ad. And when I was putting it together, I kept getting all these little tips coming at me. Well, you really should do this and you really should do that. So now it says this job must be sponsored in order to be shown. And I really think it's just because it blew up. It totally blew up. It was crazy. So in an hour, 65 applicants, I was like, holy macaroni. So, we may still go back and sponsor the job, but I don't have to right now because literally I've got 3 pages of emails of people who applied. And, and it's kind of cool because one of the things that I did, where's Kevin Fitzpatrick? I'll show you. One of the things that I did with this posting, which I will tell you right now, Rick, this was a benefit I got out of Enoda. I didn't know anything about the Indeed platform until I had to mess with it for her. And I wouldn't have even known that it was possible to put a free ad out there if it hadn't been for that whole mess. So, but one of the things I was able to do was to put in a screener question. So my first pass with all these people is I'm not if they didn't answer my screener question, I'm probably not going to reach out to them right away. I'm going to start with the people who did, because I wrote in there, if you had a closet full of money that would never run
Mhm.
out, what would you do with your time?
I see
And
that.
so this, about half of them didn't bother to answer it. So I'm like, okay, they're on the back burner right now. But I got a lot of interesting answers too. So this one guy, besides feeding the hungry and making housing accessible to all homeless, disabled, addicted, and felonious people, I'd spend my time trying to learn about the deepest truths of humanity. I'd like to talk to that guy.
Open a center to study black holes, aliens, and the meaning of life.
Yeah. Exactly. So, and I have access to a resume if he did put it in there, and I think he did.
So what's the
Uh,
job? What is the job that you had posted? What was the,
I posted for apprentices, consulting apprentices. We Care Consulting Apprentice Work Study. And that's what I'm calling our opportunities in all these different businesses. We
okay, I
got
got it. I get
mentors
it.
who are going to do work study with apprentices. So, so I got with a lot of people, I got a whole,
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
yeah, he's in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I got a whole resume from all of these people. And then for a lot of them, the other thing I was able to do, which is kind of cool, is that I don't know if Kevin's still here. He was cool to look at, but I was able to ask them to fill out an assessment. Now, again, if they didn't fill out the assessment, I may not go to them right away, but if they did the assessment, it comes through as a separate email. And so, like right here, I said that I was looking for skills in, communication skills, organizational skills, time management skills. This person comes back rated as highly proficient in those things. And then I said that I wanted them to ask questions to determine if they were going to be reliable. And this person comes back as being proficient on reliability. So I'm going to tell you, we got a lot, nothing out of Indeed today. And it's going to be fun for me to dig through these and see what kind of folks we've got.
Not too good.
Oh,
Okay,
you might
okay,
have.
let me make sure what the question is. What was the question you posted?
The question I always ask people when I interview them, if you had a closet full of money that was never going to run out, what would you do with your time?
Oh, that was it,
Because
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
because I
okay,
always want to take the money piece out of the equation and find
right,
out what's really important to people.
okay.
So, if they answered the question, great. If they didn't, okay. So that's the kind of activities we've got going on. Like I said, that was a shock when all of a sudden I saw these emails just blasting in. I'm like, holy cow.
Let me ask you this. When you post that and it just exposed to what, 1,000 people, 10,000, 100,000? How does that work when you post it? Who
I
actually
have
see it?
no idea. I have no idea, but I do know when a new job is posted that it gets exposed to people who have a profile in there saying, I'm interested in these things. And so this is listed as remote, it's listed as contract, it's listed as flexible schedule, it's listed as work study. And in the comment or in the description, I did write in there that income is produced on a commission basis. So that's going to be a big one. Is I don't know how many people even read that. If they didn't read that piece of it, they may all disqualify themselves. I have no idea. So that will be the big question is, did they see that? Do they understand what we're talking about? And then, seeing if they want to take a look at, the different products that we're representing here. So
Lorenzo, this is, because Lorenzo and I have been really power thinking about ways for us to promote what and this is perfect right here, Lorenzo, don't you think so? I mean, if you
Yeah,
think
great
about it,
start.
yeah, if you think about the apprenticeships for online business, right? I mean, this
Yep.
now the interesting thing is when they say sponsor, what do they mean by sponsor the ad? Does that
Hey.
mean you pay for it?
that means you got to pay for the ad.
Right?
So they've pulled it, so it's not visible anymore
How much
unless
you
we
gotta
put
pay-
up
how much
money.
you gotta pay for it?
I honestly don't know. Let me see if it gives me a quick idea here.
If you gotta ask, you can't afford it.
Ah, no, I think you can do stuff on, let's see, must be sponsored to go live on Indeed. Let's see. I'm pretty sure there's a link somewhere that, yeah, sponsor now. So if I click on that, I have no idea what it's going to ask me to do.
You know, moving around.
Sponsor job. Okay. So
Okay, there we go. Okay,
basically, yeah,
estimated result.
ad budget. So, they say, hey, daily average $36. So estimated results. So they're probably looking at, like I said, 65 freaking applications in an hour. So they're probably thinking, okay, so you could get 600 application over the next 4 weeks. I don't think it would take that long.
So this is interesting. So one of the things we ought to, excuse me, I'm still fighting this thing. So I don't want to gross
Understood.
anybody out, but so so my thought on this might be along the lines of, how we talked about paying for leads and stuff, right? Buying leads.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If we can now, because I know that I would probably be willing to chip in a little bit on this. If Lorenzo might be willing to chip in a little bit on it, and this, because we've been looking for something like, and Giovanna's on here, right?
Yep,
And
Giovanna's
Kevin,
here, and Maggie just came in too.
Maggie probably would be willing to get in on something like this. Kevin, I don't know if this would help Uchi or not with being
It
able to
could.
build a
He's
tribal
he's
network.
he's got an affiliate program that he's been building out, so he could benefit from it.
Could benefit from that. Like, so it would
Yeah.
be interesting to see if we sponsored an ad. $207 a week's a lot of money, but at the same time, if we're getting like 540 to 600 applications for targeted,
Well, remember that's 600 applications over 4 weeks. So if that's 270 a week, you're talking about $1,000 to get 600 applications.
Well, but I'm saying I don't think it would take that long. We got
Agreed.
67 in an hour.
Agreed.
We're gonna, first of all, stop.
Yes.
We're gonna see what the outcome for these first 65,
for the
67.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
See
That's a
where
good
that
idea.
leads.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
that's the first step
And
before we
didn't you run this ad on, or a similar ad on LinkedIn for free also?
I did, and I only got one person signed up.
Oh, is that right?
And then when I went to try to reach him, he never responded. So
I ran an ad on LinkedIn for a volunteer job, and I got 50, 60 resumes in a day
Yeah, I did
for a
too.
volunteer job, you know.
Yeah, for the Hope
Mhm.
Institute, I got the same thing. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you can, and you just run a different ad once a week or whatever, grab a bunch, it depends on how selective we are with whatever it is we're looking for. But, and with
Well-
LinkedIn, you can just upgrade to whatever premium membership. I just have the free membership, but there's so many different levels of membership on LinkedIn. So you can do the same kinds of things, where you just start paying money and then for subscription, and then you can, run job ads.
It is true, but obviously there was some things about what we posted on Indeed that caught people's
Oh
attention.
yeah, I mean that
And,
that definitely
you
got
know,
attention for sure.
That's crazy. And if you could do it, you know, if they're talking $36 a day, if you could do it for just one day, you
Right.
know, you'd probably have way more than you would know what to do with. I mean, right now, you know, Don and I will be digging through this. We'll be sharing, you know, some of the results. I'm going to put some of this into a spreadsheet and share some of it with Giovanna and Maggie, because again, we were the ones who kind of decided to experiment with this right off and see what we could do.
Mhm.
And you know, I mean, I clicked through a lot of the emails of people who responded, and it was kind of crazy. I mean, there was a lady who was a nurse saying that, you know, she still wanted to do more to serve other people. There was a number of young people in there who were talking about, you know, I want to pay it forward. I want to help other people. You know, those are the kinds of folks I want to work with, but there may be some folks who didn't answer my, you know, what would you do with a closet full of money question that maybe somebody else would want to try to talk to. That's okay with me. They're not going to be on the top of my list, but they might be on somebody else's. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. We've got activity all over the place between planning for a Raleigh event, working on different kinds of leads. That's the other thing I wanted to tell you guys too, you know, because we were talking, Giovanna and Maggie and I were talking about the different ways to generate leads. And so obviously, you know, I was curious. I didn't know if a job posting board was going to let me do it or not, but they questioned me on the phone and then they let it go. So you know, I think they just decided they'd given us enough for free, and now you got to pay if you want more, and you know, it's reasonable. I don't have a problem with that. But it was the other thing that happened was between, I don't know if I even have that up here right now, between yesterday and today, I actually also experimented with running a couple of posts, one on LinkedIn and one on Facebook, where I was just asking people what their thoughts were about you know, the idea that everything is vibration, frequency, and energy. And I put a post on each place. I got a lot of conversation on those posts. So to me, when I think about, you know, I've got the Iteracare, you know, we've got the oils, which are all about frequency. We, you know, I know Giovanna is working with Joanne on ASEA. That's all about cellular based stuff. You know, that could also become, everybody who responded to that got into conversations about all of that. Those are all people that we could take people from Indeed and teach them how to reach out to those people and just say, you know, if you're really interested in, you know, this whole idea of, you know, everything's energy and frequency, would you have interest in learning about some of these products that actually help the body to heal through energies and frequencies? You know, so it's kind of cool because we did this. I did those things on social media, and I think we can start to put together some interesting ways to generate leads and be able to do some stuff.
Interesting.
Nice one.
There's lots of ways to go after this stuff, I guess is my point. And so I'm just trying to cast the net wide and see, you know, what works for us right now. And let's see, I think that was my, yeah. Okay. So this was my post on Facebook. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, thinks in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, quoting Nikola Tesla, your thoughts. I mean, I've got 35 comments on this thing. So there's a whole bunch of people. There's, you know, 29 people who liked it, and there's a bunch of
Wow.
comments. So those are all people that we can go back to and say, okay, so you obviously have an interest in this. Would you like to learn more about, you know, how you can harness these energies and vibrations and frequencies? So those are the things that I'm experimenting with right now, and I'm really happy with the initial results.
Yeah, when I saw that on, I think I saw it on LinkedIn. I was like, oh yeah, I'm down with that. I liked it.
Yeah, well, and the one on LinkedIn, I actually quoted Einstein because he said something about that healing, the future of medicine needs to be the future of frequencies in medicine.
Oh, so
So
maybe it was the Facebook one I liked, but either way, I liked it.
either way, yeah, exactly. So, but when you find out people have an interest and they're
Mhm.
willing to comment and like on stuff like that, those are good people to follow up with and just see if there's anything we're doing that might be of interest to them.
Yeah,
Favorite
definitely.
person?
Hmm?
Who's your favorite person? Or sir?
Yeah, okay. So anyway, so all I'm asking is, are there any of these teams? Because I'm not sure. I mean, we've got more people here tonight than we've had in a while, but I'm not sure if it makes sense to focus on having a weekly We Care meeting. And maybe it makes more sense to just have, twice a month with these specialty teams and people can jump in wherever they want to be. Thoughts?
Let me see, let me go down the list again.
Yeah. Again, the peacemakers, that's where we're doing the suicide prevention
Right.
project. Business builders, that's where, we're doing all these lead generation things. Wellness team, we've got the opportunity to be involved in 3 wellness fairs here in St. Pete. And then we could do some kind of a wellness frequency seminar based on some of the interests that we're kind of seeing. And then it's the community building stuff. So, that's kind of where we're at.
Well,
Lorenzo,
I'm
what about
definitely
the
down with
business
the.
builders?
Oh, sorry.
One at a time.
Lorenzo, the business builder prosperity team, either
should
one
be
or both of us ought to be on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Well,
looking
Well, we
'Cause
need to get, if groove is what you want to focus on, we've got to figure out how to get that resolved because I'm with you guys. We've got to have programs that are working for people. So
Well, yeah, I
Right.
mean, that's something we gotta work on, just like with anything else. I mean, but any way you look at it, me and Lorenzo both are wanting to
mhm,
be involved with building business. So,
okay,
uh,
that's cool. That's cool. It's just, we do need to figure out how to get that resolved. And I'll put together a letter for Phil Same tomorrow and see if we can get any conversation going out of those folks because it's just been frustrating for all of us. I think we've all had things that have kind of fallen apart on us working with Groove, and dang it, we all we invested a lot of money with them. It's like, dang it, can't we have what we're supposed to have?
yeah, and that's the thing about it is that, because I'm not gonna give up on building my websites there.
No, I've
And I'm
got
not
so many built out there now. It's
right.
insane.
And I'm not gonna give up on memberships, and I'm not gonna give up on, I was showing Lorenzo yesterday morning about the drop shipping and the stores yesterday.
yeah, that was
That's some
pretty cool.
impressive stuff in there. And
Like that.
so I think that I know that what Lorenzo and I are gonna have to focus on a little bit more is really digging in more about what group really has to offer. And maybe there's something we don't quite understand about operating the back office a little bit differently. I mean, I don't know, because I know that I have not been able to focus enough on attending these training seminars with Phil Same and those guys to really understand the back office a little bit better. Maybe there's
Yeah.
something we're missing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that no. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Bullshit. These guys need to have their shit together better trying to help us with our customer service.
Yeah,
I would
Yeah, I'm
a
not
little
gonna try
more
to sugarcoat
transparency,
that.
a little more transparency and a better response to when we ask questions. That's the issue I'm having.
Yeah.
They dragging their leg on answers, and that to me kind of throws up a red flag. So it makes me have concerns. So yeah, but
Yep.
We'll figure
I
it out.
hear you.
We'll
I
figure
hear
it
you. All
We
right.
gotta
Well,
figure it
Kat-
out.
to
We're too,
share, Shan.
we're too
Huh?
invested.
I think Kevin
Well-
had something to say.
that's what I was gonna say. Kevin, what was your thoughts you were trying to
Oh.
get out there?
Yeah, after seeing this list, I mean, yes, you're correct with what we were trading emails on. I'm definitely interested in the suicide prevention event, you know, and my connection with NC State, suicide prevention. I'm working with Keith on all this anyway. So yes, suicide prevention for sure. And then also
Okay.
the wellness. Oh, I'm sorry.
I said good. I'm putting you on here.
Oh, okay. And then and for the wellness, you know, I'm big on wellness, especially, you know, I've got my physical health background with fitness and nutrition. But of course, Uchi is all about emotional health, which is, I think, one of the most neglected areas of health.
Mhm.
So, you know, I'm happy to help round out, you know, the wellness team.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, and I don't know if there's any way that it would make sense. If there's any way to include, you know, you and Uchi in any of the wellness fair stuff. You know, that's the tough part. We want to do as much at the wellness fairs that's experiential as possible as well, because
Mhm.
you know, that was one of the things that Giovanna and Don and I found last year, was, you know, we had sample tubes of ASEA there. And if people would take a sample tube and rub it on someplace that would hurt, and they'd start to feel the pain ease up, they were buying tubes of ASEA.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
yeah.
mean, you know, it's as easy as creating an Uchi tribe and just inviting, you know, people to sign up on a list, and, you know, within 2 seconds, you can add them to an Uchi tribe and they can start to engage in conversation with, you know, handfuls of people from the fair and us or you or whoever it is. I mean, and that's experiential. They start using it immediately.
It's true, but
They've
the
got their
challenge,
phones, it's minimal data, you know.
it's true. And who knows, maybe there's somebody in one of those lists of people we just collected who might be on the local side who could do that for you. Because the tough part is, you know, if Don and I are paying for a table, we're already going to be doing experiential stuff with this, as well
Mhm.
as we have the wellness face scans that actually help people to identify the biomarkers that could be improved with specific types of nutrition. So, you know,
Well,
that's the thing.
it could even be something as simple as, you know, I create some flyers or whatever, and they just scan a QR code and it gets them to a form they fill out, and they can be part of an Uchi tribe after the fair is over. It's just a quick sign up, you know, have a free Uchi tribe experience after the fair, you know, in the week or two after the fair.
Mhm,
And it's just a
mhm.
quick sign up, you know, where it just takes them to a quick little Google sheet or something, and they put their name in and they go ahead and get their free account,
Mhm.
you know, on Uchi anyway. They don't have to, but they can. And
Yeah.
then once the fair is over, I can set up Uchi tribes. Easy.
I
I
gotcha.
mean, all that stuff's super simple.
Mhm. It is. It's just, you know, being able to have enough bandwidth with people
Absolutely. There's a lot
that,
going on for sure.
yeah,
For sure.
exactly. So, you know, again, who knows? I have not gone and looked at who all the people. I know there's some people in Florida who applied. If, you know, again, if we could find somebody in the local area that would like to come out and, you know, represent Uchi, you know, with us at something like that, that would be very cool. So,
That would be
you
cool.
know, definitely take a look for that. And, you know, whatever ideas you have, that's all I wanted to do tonight, is just find
Mhm.
out who wanted to be connected in further with any of these things. And, you know, let's get people engaged. That's what we're supposed to be about, is action teams.
Sure.
We'll be using one 25th.
I know you will. Yes, he's going to have fun with people with the wand on the 25th. There's no doubt in my mind.
That's on the way.
That's it. That's it. So anyway, that's all that I had to share tonight. I think we've got some very cool things to, focus on here in the new year, that we definitely have opportunities to be able to grow and to reach out and see how we can help, other people. I really, it seems like there's a lot of pieces trying to come together really quickly around the suicide prevention event. So I think we could end up having something big there. Just between the contacts I have, and now Edie's talking about people she knows there, and Mariama's in the local area. I think we can really tap into some strong people. I don't know who I said this to before, so it may be a repeat to some people, but we have a guy who has run for Raleigh City Council in the past, who's also an NC grad. He's preparing to run for city council again. And he was like, "Oh yes, I want to support this. I need to know what's going on." So,
Cool.
Yeah, when you've
yeah.
got more information on sort of the scope or agenda of the event, I'd be really curious to see what that's all about.
I have kind of a summary that I wrote up, and if I'm still not sure, that was the question I had for Keith. Still not sure if he was comfortable with the write-up that I put together or not, but if he is, then I'll send it to you. I've got some other people I need to send it to as well.
Okay.
Because yeah, I think we could have a really cool event in Raleigh this year.
Yeah, I mean it's a completely relevant, needed topic. It's just that, I just have strong opinions about these kinds of events.
Oh, I know.
So-
Well, and that's why, Keith's efforts are coming together with We Care, because I think he recognized, and I was quite vocal about it. I said, your conversations, your panel discussions, they're good. They're needed to help people understand the situation more, to help raise awareness. I said, but if we're not providing solutions of some sort for people to start to get their hands on and understand what's possible, we're not making a difference. And I'm
Correct.
very
We're
clear
I mean,
about
it's a
that.
support group is nice, but there's support groups in pretty much every county across the country. So we don't need to do an event for another support group where people get to share their stories. Obviously, these stories are horrible with the people left behind, but there's enough other people doing that already. What are we going to do different that's actually going to address the problem? And I'm sorry,
That's
but
it.
we're not going to solve the problem in a day event. Health, we all know health is not a one and done activity. So we need tools
It's
that are, repeatable and that can be implemented day to day to day to day.
so true. Absolutely. Well, I really don't want to keep you guys a whole lot longer. Anybody else have questions, comments, thoughts?
Well, I'm interested in learning more about the program of One with the Suicide, because it's actually an interesting topic. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, and yeah, the fact that you're not that far from Raleigh, certainly would love to have you come and be involved in it some way, some shape. That would be a good thing. So I will definitely keep you informed. In fact, I'll put your name on that list too, Lorenzo, just so that I don't forget that you have some level of interest. Right. Okay. Gotcha. Anything else?
I'm
What'd
good.
you think about all those people that responded, Giovanna?
Yeah, that's exciting.
Dancing lady.
It's crazy. I was sitting here in front
I
of my
was
computer.
in shock. I'm like, what did she say? An hour, 65 people. I sent Maggie a message. So she jumped on. I think that's she went, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, makes-
I'm just sitting in front of my email watching these names popping up, and I'm like, holy cow.
I wonder if it has something to do with the time of day as well. Like,
I don't know. I have no idea. I
They're
mean, it
disgusted.
got,
They got home from work. They just want to find something else, end of the day. I don't know.
I don't know.
I was pondering all kinds of thoughts, but yeah.
We'll
Me, I'm
definitely be
good at pondering.
talking. We'll talk to some people and see. That's one of my questions. I'm going to ask them, what attracted you to this post?
That's
I
a
really
great
want to
question.
know.
How'd you find out about it? What attracted you to
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Yeah,
What was the
really
thing that
read the whole
jumped out
thing.
at you? Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh, excuse me for yawning. My bed is calling.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Yeah.
I'm getting close to that
It's
myself.
after 8 o'clock. What are you doing up?
Ah!
Been drinking again, I know.
Nice to
I'm
meet you,
trying
to get
Kevin.
back
We've
in.
never met, but we'll talk. I'm sure we'll see each other again.
Well, definitely, I want people getting into these smaller teams and working on some of these projects. So, unless you guys really, really think we need to still have a Thursday night meeting, I'm not going to push it. I mean, I'm grateful for everyone who showed up tonight. It just before the holidays, man, it was like pulling teeth out of an alligator trying to get people here. I'm like, no. Let's get focused on the doing, and then I think more people will be engaged.
That's that old saying, you find a shark tooth, make sure it's not still connected.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. Well, I thank you for your interest, and we'll keep on going forward. And Rick and Lorenzo, I'll be in touch tomorrow with a letter. We'll get off to our friends at Groove and see if we can shake anything loose.
She's gonna make them
Okay.
groovy in a minute.
Bye, guys.
All right.
All right,
Take
sounds
care.
good.
Bye-bye.
Good
With the
night.
noggin.